Oh, would you look at the time? Hiveswap Act 1 has turned 2 years old! Congratulations, you're almost ready for preschool. Of course, the Kickstarter over here is now 7, which means it's been in school for a while now. Anyway, it's time for our annual look into the continuing misadventures of Hiveswap's development. And boy oh boy has it been an exciting year. They finally fulfilled the Kickstarter promise of weekly updates. We've gotten in-depth previews of Act 2. And most importantly, we have a release date. February 31st, 2020. Nah, I'm just kidding, we got none of those things. But I guess I'll go over what little we do have. When I last left off talking about Hiveswap, the entire team got fired. Not a very good look. But Hussie is nothing if not a tenacious bastard, so he restarted production. Again! For the 3rd time. So what has the team been doing in that time frame? Well, Hussie has continued his diligent campaign to convince everyone that he's mentally challenged. This man is 40 years old. And Toby has gotten Sans and Megalovania in Smash. And he has moved out of Hussie's basement and instead plays Smash with Sakurai now. Oh no, Toby, you gotta let Hussie in! There's a storm coming! I invested in an Ocarina of Time in the desperate hope that this thing can transport me back to 2012, so I can prevent myself from donating to the Kickstarter in the first place. I don't know how to play this. And as for the rest of the team, I don't care. Do you care? So let's move on to the actual news. Our first bit of news came on January 4th, 2019. The Tumblr blog The Webcomics Review, who has excellent taste in videos by the way, just saying, posted an offer that they received from What Pumpkin that they had to sign an NDA for. And since this game has taken a better part of a decade to develop, the NDA has since expired. Let's see if this was an offer that they couldn't refuse. Hello again! First of all, thanks for being a Hiveswap backer. We're working really hard to make sure your patience is rewarded. As you are well aware, the production of Hiveswap has been mired in a stream of delays. Oh, trust me, I am very well aware. Believe me, it's been a source of major frustration for us. Me too, What Pumpkin. Me too. Partnerships with outside developers didn't pan out for several reasons and created a budgetary strain on the project. The high quality we expect for the project didn't materialize with outside developers either, which leads us to the in-house development structure we have today. And that's also why we fired our original in-house team. Since making the moves Andrew referred to in his Kickstarter update, development for Hiveswap has been incredibly efficient, as well as refreshingly exciting for all of us involved. We're seeing an amazing game take shape that'll be at your fingertips in 2016. Yikes. In fact, we're all busy making moves that'll ensure Homestuck sees a content resurgence next year and beyond. On top of Hiveswap, we're working on a slate of games to come out in a steady stream over the next 5 years. Hiveswap is just the beginning. And you should probably finish that first before you start worrying about other games. What they really meant to say was, we're going to placate fans with easy to make visual novels. Outside of games, we're working with Rufio himself, Dante Bosco, on a suite of digital content so cool it's hard to keep quiet about. He's officially a member of the What Pumpkin team while we work on this content. And what content was that exactly? I don't fucking know, it never got released. Dante just left one day and never came back. And then this is where the offer gets interesting. My job since the beginning has been to bolster this plan and raise the money to execute it. That's right, we're raising money. We don't want to go back to the crowdfunding well. People have already been incredibly generous with their support and have waited a long time for results. You got that goddamn right! This fundraising round is different, and includes the potential for investors to share in the success of the company whenever we release a game. Success like, oops, we fired the entire team again. We have to put the situation on our backs and move forward. We're in the midst of raising these funds, relatively quietly, and creating What Pumpkin Games, a company dedicated to the creation of all this digital goodness. We're doing what's called a Series A round of financing. We feel like we've bypassed a typical seed round of funding by the virtue of our amazing Kickstarter and the fact that Homestuck is a proven brand. We're raising $2 million right now to execute the first part of our plan. To be clear, the money we're raising goes beyond the funding of Hiveswap. Holy shit. You know, they got some fucking balls. It's like, We know our Kickstarter was really successful, and we blew all the money. But please, give us more. Remember Homestuck? A bunch of teens like that. Trust me, this'll be a success.
Okay, listen, just give me your fucking money, you stupid fucking bitch.
We've been focusing on outside investors and investment groups, and it occurred to us that our upper tier backers should absolutely be made aware of this campaign in the hopes that you'd be excited about investing. Because if you already blew a large amount of money on Hiveswap, I mean, what's another large amount? It's not a pledge situation like Kickstarter. You'd be investing in a corporation for equity stake and benefiting directly from the profits of What Pumpkin Games.
More like, what profit games?
You're under no obligation to invest, but we want to make the option available to you.
But please, for the love of God, give us your money.
We're selling 800 shares of What Pumpkin Games stock at $2,500 per share. Jesus Christ. I mean, you know, I'm just saying, you can invest in Nintendo for about $50. I think that might be a safer bet. Now, the rest of this isn't too interesting, but they do ask for you to get your friends involved too. I don't know, this seems like a good deal to me. I'm sure What Pumpkin knows what they're doing. After this, news was a bit slow for a while, because why would they keep us informed? Backers Only blog, what's that? Weekly updates? Huh? Although we did finally get the Homestuck epilogues, which I quit reading like 10 pages in, because they weren't very good. Because they did stuff like give Jade a dog penis. What the fuck? And then one day in May I was minding my own business, and suddenly I get an email from Kickstarter. And I'm like, oh, God. So it's been a while. You know, I'm starting to notice a trend here. There have been a lot of reasons for our silence, and honestly, it's been a whole tangle of stuff that maybe one day we'll get into. Or maybe you could get into it right now. There's nothing really stopping you. But right now, the good news is we're in a stage of development where we can start sharing some things, and are committed to talking with you more frequently. Yeah, I haven't heard that one before. Act 2. We know you're eager to find out something. Anything. So let's cut to the chase. Yes, Act 2 is in active development. It's always a good sign when you have to clarify that yes, our game is being developed. While we don't want to start throwing out release dates until we're further along, I'm sure you don't, we're happy to say that the script, art, and design work is nearly complete, and programming is underway. Excuse me, what? You might gather from the above description that Hiveswap development is a little unusual. Let's just say we learned a lot of lessons during development of Act 1. For Act 2 we have built a staggered development process, where the script and design come first, followed by the art. Then our programming team will put it all together while the writing, design, and art teams move on to Act 3. Once we have all the Act 2 content and programming together, we will move into a playtesting and iteration phase before release. You know, when you make a game, you make some prototypes first, you see if it's fun, see if you have to cut anything, see what you want to change, and then you do the final art assets. Because if you did it before, you might have just wasted your time and money on something you would have changed. But I guess Hussie just designed it all right the first time. Yeah, whatever. Who cares about improving the game? Just get it out there. We're running like 5 years behind as it is. This approach is working much better for us, but one downside of this approach is that there isn't much gameplay footage to show for most of the development.
Yeah, it's almost like it's a bad approach.
We can't show you any gameplay yet, but we would like to share a few snippets. And then they show off some concept art, and it's like, you know, this doesn't impress me anymore. You've been showing off concept art since 2014. At some point, you have to make a game. I mean, I guess this is just what happens when you hire 23 artists versus 9 programmers. So their next post was basically a Q&A. Let's see what fans were asking. Are all 4 acts of Hiveswap still coming? When are each of the games coming out? What's the roadmap for these games? It's always a good sign when the first question is, hey, is this game still alive? We are committed to delivering Hiveswap in its entirety. Act 2 followed by Act 3, and then Act 4. Oh, thank God, I thought they were going to make Act 3 next. After that, we can turn our attention to the possibility of Haunt Switch.
We're not getting Haunt Switch, are we?
Also, I'm glad they skipped the question of when are these games coming out entirely. But let's move on. Will the games come to any additional platforms? Hiveswap will continue to be released on Steam and other sites for PC, Mac, and Linux, as was initially promised. While we currently have no plans to port the game to any other platforms, we are open to the possibility of considering this in the future. My interpretation of this is, ports are expensive and require effort, so fuck that. Please, tell us more about Hiveswap Act 2. Yes, please. Act 2 is still a point-and-click adventure game, with the same basic UI and mechanics. The puzzles and gameplay will focus more heavily on character dialogue in this installment. Finally, the true Homestuck experience. Nothing but walls of text to read. In terms of length, the amount of time it will take you to complete the game will depend on how much time you spend exploring and talking to the characters in each scene. There will be more content in Act 2 than Act 1. I mean, besides puzzles, I guess. No, just load up those chat logs, it'll be fine. But I am glad they confirmed the game is in fact still an adventure game, and not like an FPS. I was worried that they were going to change genres for no reason. What's going to happen in the game? Where will it take place? Which characters will be in it? Details about the story and plot of the game will be best revealed by the game itself. You will be able to look forward to seeing a lot more of Alternia in Act 2. Wow, what a useless question. How does FriendSim fit into the Hiveswap games? FriendSim is an extra-canonical series of character introductions and backstories to add flavor to the Hiveswap experience. You don't need to have played FriendSim to enjoy Act 2, but if you're interested in any of the characters that appear in Hiveswap, it's a great way to find out more about what they're like. Luckily, I'm not interested in the slightest. I'm a bit confused on how Kickstarter rewards will work. What do we get again? I mean, I guess it is a good time to refresh people's memories because the Kickstarter was 7 years ago. All Kickstarter backers who pledge to receive a digital copy of the game will receive Hiveswap Acts 1 through 4. If you opted for the tier that included the soundtracks for all acts of Hiveswap, you'll get that too. Backers who pledge to receive physical copies of the games will be sent their copies when all 4 acts are complete. That would be me. But I think I'm going to be moving in the next decade, so I don't know if I'm going to get my copy. Who's doing what on the team behind Hiveswap Act 2? James and Toby are back for the music, Adrian is back for the animation, and Aisha of FriendSim has joined the writing team. What, you didn't get Cohen back? Oh no, whatever will we do? In the future, we'll be doing a series of artist and writer spotlights, introducing you guys to the team. I noticed there's no programmer spotlights, but whatever. You know, this post promised a sneak peek at Act 2. I don't know if we got that. I mean, they do have this animated character gif. I don't know if that counts though. Let's see, what else happened? Well, What Pumpkin partnered with a new publisher. And they showed off more concept art! Yay! Okay, listen, I know what you're thinking. You've been so negative throughout this entire video. Why do you care so much? It's because I donated $105. I have to care. And I gave them my money when I was 16. I didn't have a job. I used my Christmas money from the previous year that I had been saving. It was a pretty significant purchase for me at the time. So all I'm saying is, Hussie, What Pumpkin? If you want me to shut the hell up, just give me my money back. And I will never complain about Hiveswap again. That is my offer. But I know that's not going to happen, so I'll see you all next year.